As the House barrels toward a government shutdown, Republicans will somehow find the time to move forward with their effort to impeach President Biden. On Thursday, 2 days before the government runs out of money, the House Oversight Committee is scheduled to hold its first impeachment inquiry hearing. A spokesman for the committee says the focus will be on constitutional and legal questions around allegations of the president's involvement in his son Hunter Biden's overseas business. We should point out that after months of investigating, Republicans have yet to find any real evidence of wrongdoing. A House Judiciary hearing with Attorney General Merrick Garland earlier this week gave us a preview of what to expect.
Hunter Biden was put on the board of Burisma, made a lot of money, got paid a lot of money over those years.
You've got the president bringing Hunter Biden around to state dinners.
Millions of dollars of ill-gotten and undeclared income to Hunter Biden.
Hunter's major tax offenses.
Hunter Biden probe.
Hunter Biden.
Hunter Biden.
Hunter Biden.
Hunter Biden. Joining me now, Congressman Stacey Plaskett from the Virgin Islands, who's also a former Trump impeachment manager. Congressman, thank you very much for coming to the Sunday show, especially since it's CBC weekend and last night was the big dinner. So,
anything for you, Jonathan.
Oh, I appreciate that. Now, why are Republicans continuing to move forward with this, even though they have no evidence and they've gone on record and saying, like, we don't have any evidence?
Sure. I mean, it's really a notion of distraction and projection. They want to distract us from the notion that they've done nothing in Congress during this term thus far. We've had a debt ceiling crisis. Now we have a shutdown crisis. But the things that they said that they were going to do to support the American people have not been done. And they can't even get an agenda together. And so instead of doing that, they'd like the American people to look at the shiny red ball over here rather than your everyday, what you can see with your face.
Now, you were an impeachment manager in the second impeachment of Donald Trump for inciting the January 6th insurrection.
That sounds like something pretty big.
Right, really big. So talk about what it's like to run a real impeachment process.
Well, I think, as you saw, in the case of both the first impeachment, which was after involving Ukraine, right, and trying to extort the Ukrainian government, and this one being an actual incitement, the Speaker was very reluctant, however, to do one, especially in the first impeachment. And it really took the work of the media and individuals like yourself, journalists, who were able to bring us enough evidence that said, we've got to see. We had multiple hearings about it. Notice also that this is not even an impeachment about the president, actions of the president. It's actions of his son, who was not a member of the government at the time. And I think this goes back to the projection that Republicans always do, where it's really what they have done that they're trying to project on other people. In this instance, let's look at what Trump did, right? He had a hotel right here in Washington that had said that he potentially enticed individuals or made it obvious that government should go and use those services. And then he has a son and a son-in-law and a daughter who actually worked in the White House, were on the payroll for the federal government. And the day after the power shifts, they have $2 billion in an account for a foreign government that we were in negotiation with.
Right, and you're talking about the $2 billion that Jared Kushner, the son-in-law, got from the Saudi sovereign fund. And let's not forget the 40 trademarks or so that Ivanka Trump, senior White House official, got during the administration. You're not on the Oversight Committee. You're on the Weaponization Committee. So
another projection.
Well, right. So how does this impeachment inquiry differ from whatever it is y'all are doing on the Weaponization Committee?
Unfortunately, I think what we're going to see is everybody raising their hand on the Republican Party saying, well, I haven't done anything in my district. I haven't helped the American people. So can I have a piece of the impeachment inquiry? And so Kevin McCarthy is forced now to expand this to everyone. You're going to see stuff in the Ways and Means Committee, if you can believe it, with Jason Smith also trying to be involved, the Oversight Committee, Judiciary Committee. let's not forget what they think they're going to get out of Mayorkas, an impeachment there, and Homeland Security as well. So let's spread the wealth, everybody, the Speaker McCarthy says, because I ain't got anything else for you to be able to show to your constituents, to the base, that you've done. Let's do the worst best thing, which is investigating our president.
How likely is it that a week from today, when you will be at home and not here, that we will be talking about the fact that the government is in day one of a shutdown?
Well, we saw that Kevin McCarthy it took 15 votes for him to become just the speaker, something that has not happened many times in our country. We also saw him almost come to, the collapse of the government as well with the debt ceiling negotiation. So no telling how long it'll take for Kevin McCarthy to be able to get this done. I know that leader Hakeem Jeffries and Democrats have always stood ready to follow the word of our agreement in that debt ceiling engagement, and that he has made himself available, Leader Jeffries, along with the rest of the leadership, to negotiate something so that Americans can get what they need, right? We know that military service members' paychecks are going to be at stake. Meals on Wheels will have to stop if there's a government shutdown. So many work. The border, which the Republicans claim that they care so much about, is also have a shortage of Customs and Border Protection officers and others there. So we've got to stay here in Washington and get it done.
Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett, thank you very much for coming to this Sunday show.
Pleasure.